So, how's everybody doing? We're once again with Australian Survivor Season 9. I believe we're on episode 18 at this point. Last time we had Jordie losing the immunity to Jordan, and he ended up going home while he was trying to get the game flipped on Mark. Was he trying to? No, he was trying to flip it on Sam because of what Sam did to his brother by taking the idol. He went home. Well, he didn't go home. He went to Purgatory, and right after he went, they had another vote immediately afterwards. And who was it that went home? KJ ended up going with him to Purgatory. All right, and now we're on episode 18. All right, everyone kind of suspects, just based on the fact they didn't see anyone in jury, that something was going on, but they're not sure what it is. All right, so we come to this one. Everyone's kind of talking what they're going to do. Everyone is nervous about the whole idol situation. Michelle is telling Sam about the fact that everyone kind of suspects that she has it, even though they really don't. I don't know why they don't. I think she's the only one that really believes it. The rest of them just don't. They thought Jordie was lying, which Jordie does lie, but he hasn't told that many lies where. Anyways, they don't really believe it, but they're cautious about it because they already know that Mark has an idol. Right, so Sam also made a promise while she was being sort of pushed by Jordie. She made a promise that when she gets back to camp, she's going to allow them to see what's in her bag, even though the idol was in her bag. So they sort of made a plan where Mark is going to distract the rest of the tribe, and she's going to go to her bag, transfer the idol from her bag to his bag. So now he's going to have two idols in his bag. She was able to do it. No one really noticed. So I don't think they're watching each other like that. All right, so let's get to the immunity challenge. Immunity challenge looks, oops. Hold on, okay. All right, so looks like this. All right, you can see right there, they're gonna start they're gonna start at the beginning of that pool of water right there, run through the water, then get here, then they're gonna toss a ring on this post. All right, after they toss the ring on that post, then they're gonna search through this bag of hay for another ring that they then are gonna have to toss once again. All right, there we go. Let's see if we can have a little bit more of the course. After tossing the ring the second time, after that, show you the second part. All right, there's the second part. After they get through the water, toss the ring on the post. As you can see, who's all right ahead there, that's Mark all the way ahead. And you got Chrissy Chrissy and Jordan on the hay looking for their second ring. All right, so you just got to land the ring on this post over here. For the second part. After that. All right, after that, they will be on this part right here, where they have to take a stick and pass a ring through the rope all the way to the end. All right, as you can see, Mark is still ahead, and then Josh was able to catch up, and Jordan is still in the hay. I believe he'll be one of the last person in the hay, and Sam is all the way at the beginning, right there. All right, so it's Josh and Jordan at this point right here. Eventually, Chrissy is going to catch up, and she's going to start moving through the ring pretty fast. All right. All right, after that part, they're gonna have to toss a ring. That's the ring through the rope. After they get the ring through the rope, they're gonna have to toss the ring one more time. All right. And first three people to toss their ring and land it, move on to the second phase. All right. Oops. Come on. Show you the losers. These are all the people that didn't make it. Dave again, because he's trash. Michelle is garbage. Sam was all the way in the back. She was the last one. She almost caught up, but not really. And then you got Chrissy. Chrissy's decent in competition. She's been doing pretty well. All right. So those are the losers that didn't make it to the second phase. All right. And right there. And the second phase is this. They're going to open this right here, get a cloth ball, put it in this thing, and then light it on fire. All right. Then toss the ball from that platform into this volcano-shaped hole right there. All right, and the first person to land 2 balls into that right there wins. I'm gonna skip a lot of the competition because no one landed anything except for the winner. And the winner is Mark. He was all the way in the lead. He got there, he landed his first ball right away. That was the first one he tossed. The rest of them just kept missing. He kept missing a little bit, but eventually he landed the second one before anybody else landed anything. And he was up against the 2 cousins, Josh and Jordan, and he won by a landslide. All right, so now he has immunity and he has 2 idols in his bag, 2 idols in his bag and immunity, because technically the idol belongs to him now because his wife put it in his bag. All right. So he has all that power. All right, they get back to camp. People are trying to decide because now they're scared. Now Mark has an idol and he can save his wife, and he has the hidden immunity. The individual immunity. So they're kind of scared, and they want to kind of flush his idol, but they don't want to do it overtly because Jordan and Josh can't afford to do that, because the moment they do that, and they get rid of either one, the other one can work with the other 2 people and get rid of them. So they don't really want to do that and put their game in someone else's hand. So they kind of stuck in that alliance, but they also still want to flush that idol. But they don't technically believe that there's a second idol, which kind of stupid, but hey, what can you do? All right, so they came up with a, Sam wanted to get rid of David. They had a choice between either David or Michelle. They had a 6-person alliance with Chrissy, David, Mark, Sam, Josh, and Jordan. But Sam kind of wanted to get rid of David because he doesn't really talk game with her. And so that's what their initial plan is. They want to get rid of David. But Josh came up with a plan. He wanted to flush the idol. He wanted to get Sam nervous so that Mark plays the idol for her. So he told David to talk game with everyone except Sam. Make it seem like there's going to be a flip. And David went around. He even told Mark that Sam is probably going to catch 3 votes. So he might want to play the idol for her. Mark said he's going to play the idol, but like that's an obvious play. Like that's an obvious play to flush the idol. You're telling him she's going to catch votes, so he has to play the idol. Doesn't make any sense. There's no way anyone's that stupid to fall for it. But he just kind of played along. All right, so they played this whole game, and it worked. Sam got nervous. She's going around campaigning to get rid of David, talking about getting rid of him. She's mainly talking to the girls. She's trying to pretend to do this whole girls thing where they have to protect each other or whatever. And there's only, what, 3 girls left: Chrissy, her, and Michelle. All right, so makes sense for her to tell them, get rid of David. All right, and Michelle, who's outside of the alliance, she can go either way. She can either go with them and vote for Sam on the off chance that Sam plays an idol and she goes home. It's risky. It's risky. I doubt she would do that. Or, and another thing, I didn't understand why Dave was willing to go along with the plan. He didn't even ask who they were splitting the votes with. I think he just assumed Michelle. But like doing a plan like that and making one of his allies nervous, they could have literally played an idol and sent him home. Like, that's a dangerous play, but someone just told him what to do and he just like did it. I don't know what kind of game this guy is playing, but he's not winning this game. It's ridiculous that he's even still in there. All right. So that's basically the plan. Dave played up his role, trying to make Sam nervous. It worked. Sam wanted to get rid of him. They got to tribal, and Dave sort of changes his tune, and now he's talking about the 6-person alliance that they had and all this stuff. Even though they told him to make Sam nervous, he's talking about the 6-person alliance and how they're possibly nervous that Mark has an idol and he also has safety and he can save his wife and all this nonsense. All right, so let's just skip that BS what they're talking and get to the vote. And the vote went, I believe it was 1 for Sam and all the rest for Michelle, which means Michelle voted for no. It was 1 for David and all the rest for Michelle, which means Michelle voted for David, thinking that she's better off going with Sam's plan of getting rid of David, which didn't really work. So Michelle ended up getting voted out and she went to Purgatory. I believe after the immunity, they were informed about Purgatory, so they knew people are possibly coming back in the game. So that's probably why they stuck with their alliance, because if they break their alliance now and someone comes back in the game and adds numbers to whatever the fracture is, people can go home. So they kind of stuck to their alliance because of that. I kind of wish that Jonathan didn't reveal to them that people are going into Purgatory so that they would still play the game and Dave could possibly go home, but it is what it is. Michelle ended up going to Purgatory, and the people in Purgatory made a plan that whoever it is, if a bunch of them go back, that there will be in an alliance. They'll just pretend like they're not, but they'll be in an alliance, which sounds like a good plan. All right. And it was concocted by Jordie, which makes sense because, I mean, he's a threat. He's winning a lot of challenges and people kind of want to get rid of him and he has no allies. So it's a good plan. All right. So it was an extra long episode. They actually went straight after the tribal to the actual Purgatory competition. And turns out that out of the 4 people in Purgatory, we got Jordie, KG, Shay, and Michelle. 3 of them are coming back in the game. I did not expect that. I expected 1, maybe 2, but 3. But then I thought about it and I'm like, 2 people have idols and they're in a couple in the game, right? Which gives them, and if one person comes back, they'll be what? They'll still be like 7. They're still in a powerful alliance. They'll probably get to the end regardless. So the producers probably wanted it to make it interesting because because the suspense kind of goes away because Sam and Mark are too powerful in the game. So they probably did that to kind of screw them over. which, hey, it is what it is. You win one, you lose one. And they don't want them to win that money easy, I guess. So the competition is a balance competition. All right. Not, all right. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can get a good picture of it. Oh. All right. All right. So it looks like this. All right. So they have to balance a ball on a stick. All right. While traversing these logs right there. All right. That's the first part. All right. Oh, before the logs though. Before the logs, there's like a seesaw that they have to get over. So they have to climb up, ride it down, and then walk over while still balancing the ball on the stick, walk over here. Then they get over to this station right here. All right, where they have one part of the stick. On that station, there's 3 more parts of the stick that they now have to assemble to get their ball up to that little thing up here, roll the ball down, and make it land in a bucket that they have to decide where to place. All right, so let's see if I can get an image of that. Oh, all right, there you go. That should work. All right, as you can see it right there. All right, they're gonna have to send the ball through first of all, there's 3 different spots, 3 different buckets for each player. They start with the first one here. It's lower all the way to the 3rd one, which is the highest, which means they have to assemble more sticks to get the ball all the way up to the top. So they have to balance the ball on the stick while assembling more pieces and pushing it up all the way to the thing on the top there, which then rolls the ball down and it has to land into the bucket. All right, so they have to decide, first of all, where the bucket is going to be placed, and then roll the ball down and see where the ball lands. If it doesn't land in the bucket, then they have to adjust the bucket, and they have to keep doing that for all 3. All right. All right, so it was a close call. The first one to get to the station, I believe, was Michelle. She was the first one out the gate with the best balance, and she got through all the obstacles, got to the station to assemble the stick to land the ball in the bucket. But as they got there, it kind of equalized. Everyone sort of made it to there before anyone even got any ball in the bucket. And the first one to get a ball into a bucket was Jordie. He's showing his competitive prowess, and he was the first one to get a ball in the bucket. And the second one was Shay. And then he made the second one. He made the second bucket. And after he made the second bucket, I believe Michelle made her first bucket after he made the second one. So he was in the lead 2 while everyone was at 1. Then Shay made her second bucket. After Shay made her second bucket, he made his 3rd. And then Michelle made her 2nd, and KJ made her 2nd. And then KJ made her 2nd. And then Shay made her 3rd, which means names. What is wrong with me in names? Which means Jordie and Shay was safe. And then it came down between KJ and Michelle. But in the end, KJ ended up winning, which means Michelle was the only one going home, and Jordie, Shay, and KJ got back into the game, which means all Jordie has to do is win individual immunity. And once he wins that, the only person they can target, no, he can't count on Dave or Chrissy. Damn. But if Dave or Chrissy decides to flip, then they can really do something. Then they can get rid of one of them. Either Josh or Jordan, or oh no, I don't know if they would want to risk it with Mark and Sam because they have the idols, but we'll see what happens. I'm excited for the next episode, and we'll see how it goes. Until next time.